If we look here, I've got the 2-3 shift piston for the 4R75W. Of course, I've had some issues with the transmission not going from second to third gear effectively, or being very lazy when it does so. If we look at this new piston, I've got it lubed up and ready to go in. You can see the edges and the corners are very prominent. You look at the old piston, and those edges are actually less prominent. They feel more smooth and they're not as pronounced. So that tells me you're getting a little bit of leak by on the accumulator there. Now, of course, we're going to test this once we get it back in and determine that, because sometimes it's not the case. If I get down under the vehicle here to the transmission, and of course this is valve body with J-mod and everything else done to it, we can look up at everything. Got the piston, we got the piston bore for the 2-3, which is going to be that guy over there by the transmission case electrical plug that goes through. That's where you would change that seal. I did put the 5.4 liter shift solenoid, EPC solenoid, into the vehicle. Here is the actual J-modded valve body, and I'm using an extended pan, of course. Just gonna clean this guy off, put the new piston in. This cup sits right underneath the 2-3 piston accumulator, and I guess it just like sits on this cup as some type of dampener. I'm not 100% sure, but that's where it was at. And so of course I'm going to relocate that back in. Everything else looks good in the transmission. I don't see anything, and the sample looks better than it did at 89,000 miles actually. The sample looks very well, and we're coming up on 200,000. So I'm going to correct that issue. Hopefully that corrects the other problem with the shifting, and it's just a good round to rejuvenate the transmission here again with that problem, of course, with draining the fluid deeply, since you get rid of all your fluid when you open it up like this. So we're going to see what we see.